pats of butter, frying pans with bacon and eggs, tins of Quality Street, and even a tiny television or two. What on earth is going on at John Lewis this Christmas? At first glance, their 2025 collection looks downright bizarre, like someone raided the kitchen cupboards and turned the contents into tree ornaments. But there's actually a clever story behind these decorations, one that isn't immediately obvious. In this video, we'll be taking a deeper dive and explaining what's really behind John Lewis's most talked about Christmas collection. And it's not all frying pans and butter blocks, there's plenty to love in this year's range too. So come with me as we take a look at the beautiful, the bizarre, and everything in between. You've probably seen some of the early reviews or the online chatter about the John Lewis Christmas collection this year. A lot of people are saying the same thing, that it's just totally bizarre, that John Lewis have lost the plot, or maybe you've been in store yourself and thought, what on earth is going on here? Because among the glass baubles and the glitter, there are football playing Santas, dinosaurs in party hats, soy sauce bottles, even tiny coffee machines. It's enough to make you stop in the aisle and wonder if someone had hit the Christmas party wine before they signed off on this collection. Across social media and in the press, the reaction's been mixed, some calling it playful fun, others describing it as quirky to the point of confusion. But here's the thing, when a brand as seasoned as John Lewis does something that seems this out there, it's rarely by accident. So before we decide whether they've missed the mark or they are quietly genius, let's look at the thinking behind these collections and where that inspiration just may really have come from. There's actually a big clue in something that Lisa Cherry, the head of Christmas at John Lewis, was quoted as saying. And she said, "Our 4 distinct themes have each been thoughtfully curated to add meaning to every festive moment, from cherished family traditions to mythical tales to far-flung travels and ancient natural wonders. This season is a celebration of the stories we share." And the 4 distinct themes Lisa's referring to are: first one is called Heirloom Splendour, which John Lewis describes as a celebration of modern heritage, soft pastels, champagne gold, gingham, and a mix of bows, bells, and quirky biscuit or chocolate baubles. The next one is Enchanting Tales, and it's inspired by theatre and pantomime. It brings rich jewel tones, harlequin prints, and playful characters that add a touch of storybook magic. The third collection is Worldly Treasures, and it celebrates travel and global craft, combining bold colour and pattern with handmade decorations which are created in partnership with skilled artisans. And then there's Ancient Wonders, which takes its cue from nature. You'll find bronze and silver metallics, frost blues, deep reds, mythical creatures and tactile finishes that feel calm and timeless. Now, while all 4 collections have their own element of controversy, each with its own set of wonderfully quirky decorations that might raise an eyebrow, it's the Heirloom Splendour collection that sparked the most conversation. It's the one packed with the food ornaments and those everyday household objects that people just find completely baffling. But there's a key phrase in Lisa Cherry's quote. She says cherished family traditions, and that really gives the game away, at least for this collection, because when you look at the Heirloom Splendour range, the one with the biscuits and the little televisions and even the bacon and egg breakfasts, you can see exactly what they were trying to do. Now, it's not all controversial pieces in the John Lewis Christmas collection this year, and coming up I'm going to be uncovering some true traditional gems that capture that timeless Christmas magic. But first, what exactly gives the game away in Lisa Cherry's quote, and why are family traditions more important now than ever before? Well, if you think about it, cherished family traditions is more than just a nice phrase for a press release. It's the emotional heartbeat of Christmas itself, And right now, it's something we're all craving. Because when the world feels uncertain due to politics or the economy or even just the general pace of life, we instinctively reach back for what feels safe and familiar, those little rituals we grew up with. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I'm confident in assuming that at some point when John Lewis were designing this collection, someone sat their team down and said, write me a list of everything that reminds you of a much loved family Christmas. And you can imagine it, can't you? A fry up at the start of the day, Auntie so-and-so's trifle, Christmas Day telly, a big box of Quality Street and that iconic family biscuit selection on the coffee table. They anchor us, they make the season feel real. And that's what this collection is quietly tapping into. It's not about the food at all, it's about the memory. Those ornaments are tiny, shiny reminders of the moments that make us feel at home. And it's not just the Heirloom Splendour range that does that. Think about the long-standing tradition of going to the theatre or to see a pantomime, maybe even the ballet at Christmas. For a lot of people, those outings are woven into the fabric of their festive memories, and that's exactly what the Enchanting Tales collection honours. It's the magic, the sparkle of that unmistakable feeling of childlike wonder that only Christmas can bring. Now, the block of butter, I'm really not sure about. But I've got a theory. At Christmas, we tend to treat ourselves. We have the better version of something, the nicer, more expensive chocolates, that upgraded cake, the luxury brand that we wouldn't normally buy. So maybe for some families, butter is a bit of a Christmas luxury, a once-a-year treat instead of the usual spread. Someone, somewhere in that meeting where they all threw their family traditions into the ring must have said, at Christmas we got to have real butter. And while it's an extremely odd thing to have on a Christmas ornament, it's probably a stroke of marketing genius because here we all are talking about it. And while they might never sell a single block of butter ornament, it's probably been worth its weight in gold from a let's get people talking about our collection perspective. And it's possibly even got people heading into store just to see for themselves, to check out if what they've seen on social media is actually true. Did John Lewis really have a Christmas ornament that's a pat of butter? And of course, once potential customers are in there, they'll discover that there's actually a lot to love about the collection this year. They might never buy that block of butter, but they'll almost certainly find plenty of other decorations that they do want to take home. And some of the other pieces that people find a bit odd, like a ball of knitting or that footballing Santa, the stack of books or the travel-themed ornaments, actually tap into something that's become more and more popular over the last few years. And I'd describe it as the rise of the hobby bauble. A lot of people now have a tradition of buying a new ornament each year, either for themselves or as a gift for someone they love. And often it's something that represents their personality, their passion, or their hobby. So for an avid reader, a bauble with a stack of books makes perfect sense. Or for someone who loves to knit or craft, the ball of wool ornament couldn't be more fitting. If you've got a football mad kid in the family, then of course a footballing Santa is spot on. And for those who love to travel, a little globe or suitcase ornament is just perfect. So these hobby baubles are sprinkled throughout the John Lewis collection this year. Little personality pieces that make a tree feel personal, meaningful, and completely your own. Now look, these types of hanging decorations aren't for everyone, and if you love a more traditional feel for your Christmas tree, then John Lewis have got you covered too. There's an endless offering of baubles in every colour and at every price point, from delicate glass pieces to beautiful metallic finishes. The Ancient Wonders collection in particular offers up some absolutely stunning options. Taken away from the rest of the collection and looked at in isolation, some of these baubles are just gorgeous. Hand painted, hand blown, metallics that catch the light beautifully. It's a collection that does actually offer a lot. And because of its connection to wildlife, this theme also includes some lovely animal ornaments that feel perfectly suited to a winter collection. You know, think penguins, polar bears, and woodland creatures that work year after year. Similarly, Finally, the Enchanting Tales collection has some gorgeous jewel-toned decorations. If the theatrical characters aren't your style, that's absolutely fine, but you'll still find some stunning ornaments in this range. The harlequin patterns, rich golds and deep jewel tones all combine to create a tree that feels elegant, magical and just perfectly festive. Coming up, we're going to be taking a look at some of the standout wreaths, garlands and stems that feature in the John Lewis collection this year. But first, let's take a browse around the sections that don't fall under any specific collection. Those tables filled with one-off treasures and hidden gems. So if you're looking for a little something to add to your decor this year, you might just find the very thing here, whether it's an advent candle, a tree topper, or one of those charming little houses that seem to be everywhere this Christmas. You're sure to find something that catches your eye. If you've loved finding out a bit more about what's behind these Christmas collections and you enjoy all things home decor, home styling and the little touches that make your space feel special, I'd love for you to join me more regularly here in this little corner of YouTube where I'm all about making your home your haven. And I'd love to know what you thought about those quirky ornaments. Some of them were just a bit bizarre, weren't they? Even if it's just a quick, I get it, but I'm just not buying it, or I love those. Tell me in the comments. And if there was one that you would buy, I'd love to know which one. I absolutely read and reply to every comment. It's such a fun way to get to know each other and just carry on the conversation after the video's posted. So absolutely, leave me a comment, let me know. So what about the wreaths, garlands and stems section in the John Lewis Christmas shop this year? Well, they had quite a few coordinated designs that I really liked. Each one coming in several matching pieces, whether it was a wreath, a garland, a door swag or just an individual stem. The styles ranged from those with faux fruit to more snowy, wintry designs. There were red berry collections along with more traditional poinsettia filled ones and several that looked like they'd come straight out of Country Living magazine. I was particularly drawn to this garland in the red berry collection because it was far more pliable than any similar berry garland I've seen in the past. I feel like it would be really easy to work with, easy to manoeuvre into place, and therefore really easy to style. I also really liked this swag design. This is the kind you could use on a door, above a doorway, or even maybe part of your mantle decor. They had it in store in a couple of different designs, but if any of these wreaths or garlands are catching your eye, do check out the John Lewis website because they've got far more online than they had here in the Edinburgh store. What I love most about this year's range is how it tells a story of family moments, favourite traditions and those little sparks of joy. Whether that's through a quirky ornament or a classic wreath, each piece adds its own chapter to the story of your home at Christmas. And that's what makes decorating so special. It's never about how it looks, but always about how it makes you feel. And if this has got you in the mood for decorating and creating a cosy home to see you through the holidays, why wouldn't you want to carry that feeling on after all the decorations have to come down? Because once they're packed away, things can feel a little, well, bare. So you're definitely going to want to check out this next video where I uncover those double duty pieces, the things you want to buy now that will work just as beautifully for your Christmas decor as they will for keeping that cosy feeling going right through January and beyond.